Hello, lovely viewers. You are most welcome to our channel Poetry Online. In this video, we shall be discussing the use of Proverbs and Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe and their interpretations. Kindly subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get updates on all our new videos. Once again, let us assure you of a very interesting discussion. Get ready for this lesson. I cannot live on the bank of a river and wash my hands with spittle. Okonkwo uses this proverb as he holds a feast in his mother's village in Mbanta. Before this proverb, the reader is told that Okonkwo never did things in halves. When his wife Ikwefi protested that 2 goats were sufficient for the feast, he told her it was not her affair and then followed it up with the above proverb, I cannot live on the bank of a river and wash my hands with spittle. The message that can be deduced from this proverb is that one should not be miserly. A child cannot pay for his mother's milk. What this proverb simply means is that a child cannot pay for the love and affection received from the mother. Let the kite perch, and let the eagle perch too. If one says no to the other, let his wing break. This extract is found on page 14. The proverb is an admonishment for people not to be selfish, but provide opportunity for others to also get their share of resources. If I fall down for you, and you fall down for me, it is a play. This extract is found on page 52. The above proverb suggests the need for tolerance and understanding. Looking at a king's mouth, one would think he never sucked at his mother's breast. This extract is found on page 19. This proverb frowns on arrogance and disrespect. The proverb was used by an old man to reprimand Okonkwo for his rudeness in dealing with less prosperous men. A man who pays respect to the great paves way for his own greatness. This extract is found on page 14. This proverb points to an important aspect of the African value system, which is the need to show respect to the elderly and those in authority. If a child washed his hands, he could eat with kings. This proverb is found on page 6. This proverb emphasizes the need for hard work in one's endeavor, or the need for one to carry his or herself well. If one finger brought oil, it soils the others. This proverb is found on page 89. This proverb highlights the communal life in the African society, where one man's joy or sorrow affects the whole community. Those whose palm kernel were cracked for them by a benevolent spirit should not forget to be humble. This extract is found on page 19. It stresses the need for one to be humble and not to undermine those who are less successful. When a man says yes, his cheese says yes also. This extract is found on page 19. This proverb was used in response to the statement made earlier that Okonkwo was just lucky in life, or others will say his chi or personal guard was good. A child's fingers are not scalded by a piece of hot yam his mother puts into his palm. This extract can be found on page 48. Okonkwo used this proverb when Oberika blames him for playing a role in Ekemefune's death. Leaving fire begets cold, impotent ash. This extract can be found on page 111. Okonkwo uses this proverb to express his displeasure over his son Nwoye, who is not living up to his father's expectation or his father's ideals. The use of the phrase "living fire" and "cold impotent ash" symbolizes life with vibrance on one hand and coolness and hopelessness on the other. An old woman is always uneasy when dry bones are mentioned in a proverb. This extract can be found on page 15. The proverb was used after a conversation about Obiako, who went to consult the oracle, and he was told that his dead father wanted a goat as a sacrifice. Obiako's reply to the oracle was that they should ask his father if he ever had a fowl when he was alive. This provoked a lot of people to laugh, except Okonkwo, who laughed uneasily because he remembered his father, who possessed next to nothing in his lifetime. Where are the young suckers that will grow when the old banana tree dies? This extract is found on page 47. This proverb was used by Okonkwo to express his disappointment in his children due to the fact that they are not being able to display the boldness and courage that Okonkwo is known for. This is reflected in Okonkwo's worry when he says, "I tell you, Oberika, that my children do not resemble me." The proverb suggests that the older generation expect the younger ones to take after them. An animal rubs his aching flank on a tree, but a man asks his kinsmen to scratch him. This extract is found on page 111. The proverb was used by Uchendu, Okonkwo's uncle, as part of his prayer during the feast held by Okonkwo. This proverb was preceded by the comment that he prayed to the ancestors. He asked them for health and children. We do not pray to have more money, but to have more kinsmen. We are better than animals because we have kinsmen. A chick that will grow into a cock can be spotted the very day it hatches. This extract is found on page 47. This proverb is used by Okonkwo in response to Oberika's statement that you worry yourself for nothing, the children are still young. This proverb suggests the fact that a person's traits can be identified even while he is a child. Proverbs are regarded as the palm oil with which words are eaten. This proverb can be found on page 5. This proverb was preceded by the statement that among the Igbos, the art of conversation is regarded very highly. This proverb can be regarded as a proverb about proverbs. The comparison of proverbs with palm oil in the first place suggests how frequent proverbs are used in conversation, just as palm oil is frequently used in preparing food among the Igbos. The truth of such a proverb is evident in most Igbo writings and conversations. The sun will shine on those who stand before it shines on those who kneel under them. This extract is found on page 6. Unuka uses this proverb when Okoye asks him to pay back his debt. This was after Unuka told Okoye that, "You see, I owe that man 1,000 cowries, but he has not come to wake me up in the morning for it. I shall pay you, but not today." This proverb may be interpreted as there is a need to address matters in order of importance, and that is to say, first things must be done first. A toad does not run in daylight for nothing. This extract is found on page 15. This proverb was used by Ugwefi Idigo after saying that Obiako the Pamoin Tapa has suddenly given up his trade. He then continues to say that there must be a reason for Obiako's behavior. This proverb suggests the fact that nothing happens by chance, hence the need to ask questions and not just to accept everything at the face value or draw hasty conclusions about things. It is this understanding of the world that makes people to always inquire about the past and the future through divination. The lizard that jumped from the high Iroko tree to the ground said he would praise himself if no one else did. This extract is found on page 16. Okonkwo applies this proverb to stress the fact that he is hard-working. As he says, "I am not afraid of work. I began to fend for myself at an age when most young people stuck to their mother's breast." Lizard and Iroko tree, as used in the proverb, serve as a pointer to the kind of vegetation zone within which this particular proverb emanates. The effort made by the lizard to jump from the high Iroko tree deserves appreciation considering the height it drops from the tree. The saying is based on the observation of the behavior of the lizard. It is observed that if the lizard falls from an altitude, it lies where it falls and nods as if to assure itself that it has done a great job. Ineke the bird says that since men have learned to shoot without missing, he has also learned to fly without perching. This extract can be found on page 16. Achebe employs this proverb when Okonkwo came to ask him for yam seeds for planting. According to Achebe, many young men have come to me to ask for yam seeds, but I have refused them because I knew they would just dump them in the soil and leave them to choke with weeds. I have learned to be stingy with my yams. This proverb is used this way to suggest the fact that people's behaviors changes depending on the situation. The proverb suggests the need to be innovative and not to continue to do things in the same way as it's always done, but to find out other means to improve one's ways of doing things. As our fathers say, you can tell a ripe corn by its look. This proverb is found on page 16. Achebe uses this proverb to affirm that he has confidence in Okonkwo as a hard-working man. He confirms the point he makes about Okonkwo that, but I can trust you. I know it as I look at you. The proverb suggests that a successful person can be identified by his attitude towards work. It further illustrates that people observe the actions of others, and this can have an influence on the perception they form about them. The clan is like a lizard. If it lost its tail, it will soon grow another. This extract is found on page 123. The proverb emphasizes the point that the misfortune that befell Okonkwo made him lose his influence in his clan. As pointed out in the text, a man's place was not always there waiting for him. As soon as he left, someone else rose and filled it. When the moon is shining, the cripple becomes hungry for a walk. This extract can be found on page 7. This proverb was used to emphasize the point made earlier that, on moonlight days, happy voices of children playing in open fields are heard, and those not so young will be playing in pairs in less open places, and old men and women will remember their youth. The proverb suggests the kind of living condition of the people, where people are not always confined indoors, as in the self-contained houses of today, or even in the European context. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.